Look at us.
Look at us. We're just a couple of rural gals trying to create community and entertain. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Annaliese, and we're Egg's most okayest farm girls. Grab a drink. We're here to help. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, girl, hey.
How are ya?
Just wonderful.
Me too. The sun is shining. I put on self-tanner last night.
Hell yeah.
And I'm also just super excited for today's convo because it's like you remember Dear Abby when people would write in all their problems to the newspaper? It was Dear Abby.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're doing today. We asked our followers to bring us their problems, whether they're serious, silly, trivial, whatever. There were no rules. Just bring us your problems, and we are going to give our unsolicited advice.
Before we start, do you remember Ask Ashley with Amanda Bynes?
Yes!
It's like that!
Yes.
Except we're going to be less angry.
Less angry. God bless Amanda Bynes. Have you seen her lately?
Did I send you a video? Maybe I didn't. I just sent a recent video of her to someone and was like...
That she's going through it.
Yeah.
Oof.
I care about you, Amanda Bynes.
Me
I mean,
too.
did you watch Quiet on the Set?
No.
The documentary?
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it. Is it really sad?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Is it on Netflix?
Mm-mm. I watched it on Max.
Okay.
Or you can buy it on Amazon Prime, but yeah. Oofta.
We digress.
Anyways.
Everybody's got problems. So yeah, like we said, get ready for it. Advice is a coming. So the first one I got was, what would you do if your parents or grandparents wouldn't tell you their farm transition plans?
I feel for this person. I think it's very common.
Yeah. So tough.
We kind of went through that, like with the family farm. It's Aaron's dad and uncle who own the family farm. Mm-hmm. And we did not know what was going to happen for our future. So that's why we kind of bought a portion of land and started our own thing, because it was up in the air. And it's not really talked about.
Yeah.
It's sticky.
It is. It can be very messy if that generation, I don't know, it's like tough for some people to let go, to let the future generation take the reins a little bit. And so I guess my advice would first to be like, have a family conversation. Like if you really want to be a part of that farm, and if your elders truly want to continue that farm legacy, like a conversation has to be had and everybody has to decide on what's best for the family. And then if you really can't have that conversation on your own, then like hire a mediator or a professional to come in and mediate that.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
That's exactly what my mom does. She helps different farm families with like human resource type stuff or succession planning and transitioning. And some of the stuff she tells me, like there are people going through it, man, like tough stuff, tough conversations, different personalities. Like farming with family ain't easy.
No, it's definitely not. And if you don't want to have that conversation, you're going to have to just buy your own, go your own way.
Your own.
You can go your own way.
There, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's going to cost some money.
Yeah. Have that conversation with yourself. What do you truly want? Do you want to continue that farm or do you want to go do your own thing? And if you want to continue on your family's farm, you got to sit people down, have that tough conversation.
Yep, it is tough. Okay, what else do you got?
Someone else wrote in, said, I'm the only girl working with my older brother, my dad, and 3 uncles. I feel like they don't take me seriously. I'm also the youngest. That's tough too. I was I don't quite understand because, you know, I had my dad and I had 3 younger sisters. And I would say my dad and my grandpa were all very supportive of us coming back to the farm. But I didn't have a brother. So would that have been different had I had a brother? I don't know. But I guess my advice would be, girl, you've got to get yourself some big dick energy.
I love that advice.
I mean, yeah. But honestly, you kind of like if you want it and you want them to take you seriously, like be confident, like go in there. The part about being the youngest too is like you do kind of have to prove yourself. Like you probably are have to work really hard for a while without getting the respect you want or deserve because you have to prove yourself. And if it gets to the point where you feel like they're still really not respecting you or taking you seriously, then like sit them down with that big dick energy. Be like, hey, guys, how about we have a beer or dinner or something and talk about what's going on here? Like, I am truly passionate about this operation. I want to be a part of it. I want you to include me on this.
Mm-hmm.
My advice.
Yeah, you got to get some grit about you because it is tough. At first, when I started doing social media for our farm, Aaron's dad and Aaron looked at me like, you're a big weirdo. Like, this is not gonna have a positive impact. Like, what are you doing? But I mean, I feel like I proved myself, and now they're so supportive and they're like, oh, we get it. This was necessary.
Right. I know. I think sometimes my other advice is fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just pretend you have your shit together and that you are confident and know what you're doing. I guess that's the big dick energy.
It is big dick.
You gotta work with that head held high. Act like you know what you're doing. You and I have had like so many conversations about social media, getting brand partnerships. When I hosted my first event, I had been asking for sponsorship. And I remember sending out a letter and they're like, oh, cool. Do you have sponsorship levels? And I was like, you betcha I do. And then I Googled sponsorship levels and figured it out and sent it to them, like.
Yup, I've done that too. I'm like, hold on.
Yep, I know what I'm doing.
Just make something in Canva real quick.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my advice for if someone's not taking you seriously.
Yeah.
All right, this next one, I don't know, kind of made me laugh. Maybe I shouldn't. Your thoughts on Ozempic? I'm considering it since I can't seem to get my shit together. Do you know what Ozempic is?
Yeah. I think it can really help people that have struggled like their entire lives trying to get the weight off. But I feel like you're going to lose muscle mass as well. So you got to like do all the right things along with it. That's my take. Like you got to be lifting weights and all that jazz too. But yeah, I think it really can change people's lives.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. My advice though too is like, well, first of all, go listen to, I wrote it up here, episode 5 of Okayest Farm Girls, where we talk about wellness and building habits. Because if you feel like you don't have your shit together, maybe Ozempic isn't for you. Like maybe you should start getting some good habits. If you have tried everything and you feel like you have all these other things in place, like you said, maybe Ozempic is good for you. But if you really haven't put in all the effort to do what you need to do to get healthy, sorry, you got to get your shit together.
Yeah, start small and grow on that. So
I feel like I hear about Ozempic all the time because, well, I watch a lot of Housewives, a lot of Bravo TV, and them women, they be using that Ozempic. They're just
shooting themselves up.
Oh yeah,
that.
Drop.
I also feel like a lot of people can get it off the internet. That's not the right way to go about it. Go through your doctor. And if your doctor says no, maybe they have their reasons. I don't know.
You're in the health field, or we're in the health field. It's for people that are diabetic, correct?
Yeah, or overweight.
Okay, interesting. Just everyone know, don't quote us on anything. Remember, this is for funsies. Our advice may not be good, probably isn't correct.
Don't listen to me about diabetes. I don't know what I'm talking about. Shit.
Yeah, everything I know about Ozempic is from watching Bravo television. So I heard that also, like, once you stop taking it, you could gain all the weight back. But maybe that's, again, going back to if you don't have other habits in place.
Right. It makes it so you don't have an appetite, so you're in a calorie deficit. If you stop taking Ozempic and you're just like balls to the wall, eating excessively again, then yeah, you're going to gain that weight back. You got to learn healthy habits also along with it.
All right. Next question.
I've got one. It's, do you make money doing Instagram post?
Well, tell you right now, not from Instagram. Instagram doesn't pay. I wish they would pay.
They used to pay.
Yeah. We got
that was super nice.
It was. Except I was so mad, like, when I finally qualified for Instagram Reels Play or whatever it was, I had literally just had a reel go viral. And then the next day, they're like, you qualify, you get paid now. I'm like, you've got to be kidding.
Of course.
Yeah, now they canceled it altogether. I know we had Lacey Evans on episode 3, 4, 5, I don't know.
5.
But she said TikTok actually pays really well.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
I think YouTube is even better, but I know, I'm just so stuck in my Instagram ways. Like I don't like change and I don't want to learn a whole new other platform. So instead, I just complain about how Instagram doesn't pay me.
Same. But that being said, like, you can get brand partnerships, like affiliate links, like get paid in other ways. It's just Instagram doesn't directly pay you, which is annoying. But I don't know. Did you ever try YouTube?
No.
I did this last fall. Did I tell you that?
No.
I tried it because I was money hungry. I wanted that money. And I knew it paid well. And like, it takes a little bit of time. Like, you've got to like build a following and whatever. But oh my gosh. For one, you have to film exactly the opposite of how you film for Instagram. So it was like crazy trying to do both because, I don't know, like you couldn't cross use the content, which sucked.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, all the editing, maybe one day again. But for now, we're just hoping this podcast is going to eventually make
right. Yeah, I did love the Instagram bonus. It wasn't much, but it was a couple extra $100 a month. So at least you're getting something.
Something. And Facebook pays.
Oh, yeah.
They pay for Reels. It's not a lot. Like, I want to say maybe, like, I don't know. I don't even know if I've made $100 a month. Like, it's pretty small, but at least it's
I think I made like $5 a month.
It ain't much.
Right. Next, Dear Okay's Farm Girls.
I'm expecting my first baby this June. How did you handle daily chores and farm life with a newborn? Well, for one, keep the liquor cabinet stocked.
It's a crazy ride.
It is.
I relied heavily on nap time. If Aaron and I had to work cattle, like, I would drive my babies around in the car until they fell asleep and then pull my vehicle like straight up to the barn, windows down so I could hear them, and then work cattle. It was a real pain in the ass, but it worked. You make things work, you know?
I mean, well, I had twins, which was a whole nother level. And I don't know if, like, for the first few months, like, obviously I was just home because the twins were in the NICU for a while. But once they were both home and old enough, I was trying to do chores, and I had a red wagon with like legit rubber wheels, and I would put them in there. They lived in that thing. Before they could even sit up, like, I would just put a bunch of blankets and toys in there, and we would just roll around. And I had like a little umbrella that attached to the side so it would keep the sun off of them. And then even once they like were old enough like to sit up and crawling around, I don't know, they still like stayed in there. I just keep throwing snacks and shit at them.
That's amazing. I remember trying the wagon when they were little, and they would just climb out. It was just total chaos, but
yeah, I mean,
guess it depends on the kid or the baby or the toddler.
Right. Yeah, that helped. But I guess my other advice would just be knowing that it's going to be chaos, embrace the chaos, and know that it is just a season of life. It's not going to be like this forever. It gets easier. Before you know it, they're going to be helping you do the chores, and they'll be more helpful versus a burden.
Yes. As they age, they get more independence. And like you said, this is just temporary. So hang in there, mama.
I know. But yeah, just know it is going to suck. There's no easy way to do chores with twins. Like, ultimately, I ended up giving up a lot of my chores when they were young because it was like, this is just, it's dumb. It's not working. So,
yeah.
But we were lucky enough to have somebody that we could ask for help, you know, another like part-time employee who was able to help feed calves more often. And then, you know, also, like we talked about this last episode, juggling it all. You got to ask for help. Don't be too afraid to ask for help, even though it's so hard.
I know. My in-laws did help out quite a bit because they're right on the farm. So if we had to work cattle or whatever, then they're not too far away.
We were lucky in that way too. I used to feed calves in the mornings, and my mother-in-law would come up to the house and like stay with the kids until I got back, which was really nice. But now that they're in school, I really don't want to miss the school phase. So I do more evening chores now so that I can be home with them in the morning and get them off to school. And
yep, you'll get into that groove.
Fuck around and find out is what Emily Matsky says.
I like it.
Not a question, but you guys are hands down my favorite podcast. Keep doing you, gals. Whoop, whoop.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Am I the only one who is feeling the pressure to keep up with looks, clothes, home, money, etc.?
No.
No, you're not alone.
We're all struggling. Some of us just show it better than others, worse than others.
I always feel inadequate, especially in such a social media heavy world. Like, it's so easy to be like, oh, I should be that. Or my house should look like this. I mean, God, I look at Courtney's house sometimes and I'm like, it's so beautiful.
Thank you. Your house is beautiful though too. And you know, we both be cramming drawers full of shit.
Yes.
Like,
this is true.
I can't wait to show you when you come visit. Literally every kitchen drawer is just like jam packed with like kids' toys. Like, instead of like my kitchen stuff, it's just like fucking toys.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna come to your house and just immediately like start snooping.
I can't wait. You have to remember that Instagram is all highlight reels.
Everyone's got their shit. Nobody's perfect. You like what you see on Instagram is only like a small percentage of somebody's life.
Right. And what you see now is me in this nice top, but little do you know, I'm wearing sweatpants.
Look at those socks.
And fuzzy socks. So
he and we both tried to look cute today because we want to use video for our social media content for the podcast. So guys, this is a big deal. We put on bras for you.
Yeah.
How do you talk farm personal finances with other family that's also part of the farm? So again, kind of like that first question, it's just tough conversations and you have to sit down and have them. And if you can't have them civilly with each other, like again, hire a mediator. There's so many out there. I'm probably going to have to link my mom in the show notes after this.
I never thought of a mediator. That would have been really helpful.
Yeah.
So great advice.
Like I know my dad's got the will. God, I don't even know if I'm in the will. Probably not. And if I am, like I would never be upset about not getting something. Or like, you know, I grew up on my family's farm and now my sister is planning on taking it over. Like I wouldn't expect to get any part of that at this point. Like she's the one there working, putting in the work. Like I don't feel like I'm owed anything. And so it always boggles my mind when like siblings can argue.
I think you're a rarity. Like most people are like just not that generous. That's not the correct word, but
yeah, talking finances, not easy. I think a lot of couples even struggle with that. I don't know. Do you and Aaron fight over finances? I feel like Tom and I, we're actually pretty good. Like
we're pretty good too.
We're not rich, but we're not poor. We are at this comfortable place where spending money, like I like being able to spend money, not worrying like, oh, is this going to break the bank? Like the fact that we are comfortable means so much to me.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I, just the other day, we're talking about like,
am I rich or poor? Like, I don't know. I seriously don't know.
Yeah.
I bought a fancy mattress. Like, I'm not struggling to put food on the table, but also I see people like buying trips to Disneyland every year. And I'm like, how?
Right. We're somewhere in the middle. But then, like you talked about, like we're business owners. And so we own cattle and we own land and we have like a lot of equity, but also our bills be stacking up, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, on paper, we have a lot of assets with land and cattle, and our ranch is worth something. And we have a lot saved too. But still, when that tax return is coming in and you see how much you made, you're like, oh. That's not very good. And one year we'll make we made 6 figures a couple years ago. But then last year we're like, oh, we didn't even make half that. So it's stressful because you don't have that steady number coming in every month or every year.
Yeah. With modern day farm chick especially, I'm constantly like, am I doing enough? Because there are some months where I have a lot of events or speaking gigs or brand partnerships where I make a lot of money. But then there's other months where I don't have as much going on and I don't make as much money. And so it's just really hard to gauge like, how am I doing? Where am I at? Anytime I have a day where it's like slower, I'm like, I'm poor. Like, I'm not working hard enough. I'm not sick enough to make money.
I know. I'm so relieved you feel the same way because I haven't talked about this to anybody.
No. And if anybody has advice for us on how to solve that problem and feel more comfortable about whether we are poor or rich, let us know.
Oh, just today, I think she's like a financial advisor reached out to me. I think you know her.
Hillary?
Maybe? I think so.
Okay.
She messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to jump on a call and see if I'd love to work together? Maybe I do need her services.
I know she's really good at what she does, like super successful, and she really likes helping female business owners. Yeah, Tom and I do have a financial advisor. It's actually our brother-in-law. So we work with him and he's helped us try to figure out where to invest money because that's something else I feel so dumb about. I thought when I became a grown-up, I would know how to like invest money and do things.
Yeah, do big kid things.
Know how to do these things. I feel so lost.
My dad has been a CFO for a long time and he's an accountant. He's very knowledgeable. I have this amazing resource and I never ask him for help. I don't know why. Like, I need his help.
Dad, like, do you think you need like maybe a stranger? Like, dad's too close to home. It'd be like your dad helping you with your math homework, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Again, can I afford these services from people?
It's true.
I don't know if I'm poor or rich. So,
yeah. And then you throw in the whole factor of you knowing that you're cheap. And that doesn't help with your mentality of am I poor or am I rich?
I know. I'm so goddamn cheap.
How do I not feel lost as a mom or a farm wife? I help with livestock, I homeschool, and I don't prioritize myself.
Well, I think it was the last episode we spoke about, no, maybe 2 episodes ago.
Right?
Yeah, well, when we talked about like different seasons of our lives.
Oh, yeah. I think
like,
that's it all. Yep.
I guess I never made time for myself like when my kids were young, but now that they are getting older and more independent and they're going to school, I can focus more on myself and going to the gym and figuring out like what I'm passionate about. I was really horrible at making time for myself when my kids were young. I struggled with it.
It's hard. And it is something I wish I would have done a better job at. So I guess my advice would be 1, know that it's just a season. It's not going to be easy. I remember like back then when I was working out, like my kids were literally crawling all over me. My workouts were not great, but I remember telling myself like, it's better than nothing. At least I'm doing something for myself, you know?
Yeah.
You should take that time. Like ask someone to babysit the kids, like just let go for a day, go get yourself a massage, even if it's, I don't know, like leaving the kids with somebody so you can go like get a cup of coffee, or I don't know, putting the kids in the car and going through the car wash and enjoying a cup of coffee. Just
yes, I mean that can lead to resentment. You don't want to feel that way like towards your partner. Like I remember I used to watch Aaron just get up and go to work kid free, and I was trying to do projects and stuff with my kids at home. Well, and I still do that. But you don't want to end up resenting your partner. So make time for yourself.
Yeah. The first year with the twins was so hard. I did not like that stage at all because of the very same things. Like Tom would get to leave and I was just home all day with them. I remember like sometimes he would finally get home. I wouldn't say anything to him. I would just get in my car and leave and just like drive around for a minute because I was like, I got to punch out. I've got to punch out.
Yes. Here's a good one. Any big business plans for 2024?
Tom and I currently have 3 Wagyu beef calves on the ground that we are raising. It's going to be a little test run for some direct consumer beef because we've been breeding our older cattle with Angus semen. And so we have some Holstein Angus Rosses that we've just been selling, which the market has been really good. We got like $800 for one of those calves. I'd like to maybe potentially raise more and sell more beef. So that's kind of what we got brewing over here.
Very exciting. I've got a couple things I want to do. I want to collaborate with a friend who owns a gym, the gym I go to in town, and put together some sort of workout right in the middle of the longhorn pasture that we have. Like we have the perfect spot for it. And I would love to do a painting class out in that pasture, same spot.
Yes.
Different events I have in mind.
All right, here's another one. What is appropriate or expected for a woman in ag, like a nutritionist, for example, to wear that still looks professional but is still farm worthy? She said she hates wearing polos. And I guess I said, I always, like anytime someone comes and visits our farm, like if they're wearing jeans, boots, and like a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or jacket that has their business logo on it, I think that's just fine. Right?
I think
like,
so too.
On a farm, like if anybody comes to our farm wearing inappropriate shoes and a suit or something goofy, that's when we judge.
Right. I would too.
And my father-in-law will judge you if you wear your hat backwards or have holes in your jeans. Like obviously Like, don't wear that. But like
the holes in the jeans thing, man. I get comments every single time.
Holy jean.
You paid full price for those jeans.
What's the other joke? Like, are those your church pants because they're holy? Oh.
Hilarious.
This person wrote, females getting respected in the dairy industry. P.S. I'm all the way from South Africa.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah. Getting respect as a female in any male-dominated industry is tough. It goes kind of back to that advice we gave before, like just keeping your head held high, doing the work, acting confident, and like just like having a presence that demands respect.
Prove yourself, get those big balls out, you know?
Get them out, show them around.
You're not going to be taken seriously by everyone.
Mm-mm.
You're going to come across it. It's only a matter of time in this industry. Put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on.
Yeah. Yeah, and just know that you're smart. If you don't feel smart, do some research, figure it out.
Air Bear, get your shit and get out of here.
Aaron, do you have any questions for us? We're giving our unsolicited advice today, so if you have a problem, we can solve it.
A farm always got issues.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, he said our farm always had issues. Is that what he said?
He said, I'm farming, I always got issues. And he walked out.
Can't wait to get Aaron and Tom on here, because if anybody could see the video, like, we're trying to talk to him and he literally did not stop.
Absolutely not. Never.
Didn't even pause for us. Like, I am going to come in this room and disturb your podcast, but no, don't talk to me. Like,
man, I tell you, he did risk his life for us last night, though, on the roof. My previous internet service provider was shit. And so I finally got Starlink, but you have to install the satellite on the roof. And our roof is so steep because it's an old home and we have a huge attic with tall ceilings, whatever. He went up there and he's like, this is your fault if I die.
you have him harness himself?
Yeah, his buddy dropped off like a deer tree harness thing. Hunting harness, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, he was rappelling down the roof with a giant satellite. But he did it for this podcast.
Yes, I was just gonna say, the fellas behind Eggs Most Okayest Farm Girls. Shout out to them.
Yes.
Did you have any more?
What's your favorite farmer's wife stereotype to break?
Ooh.
All of them. I live for it.
I can't remember. Have we talked about this before? Like, I kind of hate the term farm wife.
I kind of do too.
It's going to open up a can of worms. I'm not here to offend anyone, because I know some people really like it. It means something different to everyone. But to me, like, it doesn't give me individuality. I don't belong to anyone. I am my own person. I'm an equal partner on this farm. That's why I just hate the term farm wife.
Right. It implies that you don't have too much to do with like the actual farm business that you have.
Right.
That couldn't be more wrong in our cases, because every decision is between Aaron and I both. So yeah, the term farmer's wife just makes me feel like you're not involved with the farm, you're involved with the home only.
I agree.
And that's not to say like if you are that woman that takes care of the house, takes care of the kids, and cooks and does all those things, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Super important.
Yeah. But we are different and we want different things. So
yeah, breaking that stereotype in general, or just being a woman in egg, like we've talked about so many times, it can look so different for so many people.
Sorry to spring that on you.
It's a doozy. Hopefully we don't get canceled for any of that. I feel like that could be
yeah, that's a touchy subject.
It is.
I've seen it several times talked about on Instagram, and people are very like pro that term or not. If my husband was a millionaire and I could be a farmer's wife, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But I got to make money. And I'm a big part of this business.
Like I said, this could go on, but it for me, it just implies, yeah, that you're separate. You're not a team. There's the farmer and the farmer's wife. I want us to have the same label, the partners. If anybody could see my hands right now, like
I just want to be a farmer. Like,
yeah.
Why do you have to single me out as a farmer's wife?
Right. Why does it have to be different?
Why can't I just be a farmer?
Amen, sister. And
okay.
well, someone did ask, here's another controversial topic. Is it pop or is it soda? It's pop.
It's soda for me.
Really? That's too bad.
Is pop like a Midwest thing, or is soda a Midwest?
I don't remember which one.
I can't either. I remember I come from Indiana, and when I moved to Wisconsin, people were always telling me I was saying it wrong. I can't remember which way is which.
Water fountain or bubbler?
I must tell you, I had no idea what a bubbler was when I came here. I was like, what?
I had never heard that. So, like, I lived in Wisconsin my whole life, and bubbler's supposed to be a Wisconsin term, and I've never heard anybody say it.
Really? I heard that as soon as I came here. I was like, what the fuck is a bubbler?
Maybe I was too far north?
Maybe. I don't know.
Didn't say bubbler.
Or bag. Or bag. Bagel. Bagel.
What do you say, buggy or grocery cart?
Grocery cart. I've never heard of buggy before.
I was in Texas just this last week, and I was at the grocery store, and she's like, oh, let me get my... Well, she didn't say ope. I said ope. She was like, oh, I don't know. Let me get my buggy out of your way. That was my Texas accent.
Nailed it. Nope, never heard that one. That's cute.
Yeah.
There's a few questions I got about people in the healthcare field that are like, just how did you do it? How did you start switching from that industry to farming and agriculture? And I guess my transition was kind of slowly because I was doing both at the same time for a long time. And that left me with a very empty cup.
Yeah.
Being at work, I was like, this isn't for me anymore. Like, I've changed. My priorities have changed. So the answer is that I transitioned slowly and did both and finally just ripped the Band-Aid off.
I mean, it was the benefits you said that were potentially like really holding you back that you didn't want to lose.
Right. Because everyone told me like in a farming family, someone's got to work a town job to get those benefits. And that's what I was told for forever. When I quit, I went to the open marketplace for insurance and we pay half as much as I did through the hospital.
Dang.
So it's way, way cheaper now for us. So it wasn't even a big, it was just, we had been lied to.
Right? If you're listening and you're holding on to a job you don't like because you think you need to keep the benefits for your family, now you know. You don't.
Open marketplace insurance, man. It's based off your income. And farms, you got a lot of expenses that you can write off.
Heck
helps you in the health insurance premiums in a big way. So,
got any more?
How do you make it through the winter blues if you get them?
The winter blues. We're going to have to do a whole episode on this next season.
Yeah.
1, just prepare. Like I just know, like I prepare my mind like it's coming. The winter blues are coming. Just try to still get outside as much as I can and do things that make me happy. Take your vitamin D.
Yeah, I get seasonal affective disorder like every year. Winters are hard. I did find that working out regularly really helped my mental health.
For sure. Working on your fitness. Courtney, I think we'll wrap it up here, but I did want to say, I'm not wearing it, I should have put it on, but we have some merch now. If you've noticed, at the end of every podcast, we say, have a day. And now we have really cute sweatshirts and t-shirts that have this like cute little cow and floral thing, and it says have a day. We'll share them on our Instagram. We'll link them in the show notes, but we would love it if you would go get you one and have a day.
Have a day. I can't wait to get mine.
You know, so cute. All right, Courtney, you go have a day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today.
If you had as much fun as we did, would you do us a favor and share this episode with a friend?
Speaking of friends, can we all be friends over on the Instagram? You can find me at @ModFarmChick.
And me at Mrs. Green Pastures Cattle.
See you next week, guys.